go. All right, good morning, everybody. Um, we are going to continue today. I'm going to go ahead and go straight to sharing my screen. I'll go ahead and turn on my other things here. All right. Oh, that is not where I wanted to be. Where did that come from? Where did it go? Did it get bumped because I touched something? I had it all up and ready. There we go. Here we go. All right. Get it on present. Okay, here we go. Thank you guys for being patient, both here and there. All right, so today we're going to continue with our overcoming learning challenges near and far. Okay, so we talked about overcoming means to, kind of the word tells you that you're getting over something, right? So if you're overcoming a learning challenge, you're doing something about it and getting past it. In this case, we're talking about learning challenges, but we know that we all have challenges in our life that we're working on. It doesn't have to be learning, but that's what we're focusing on for our module. And it says near and far. So near, do we have some challenges in our classrooms? Yeah, especially with the whole pandemic thing. Definitely there's been some challenges that Mrs. Abed and Mrs. Harrison are still trying to deal with.
Can I be a co-host?
Oh, did I not co-host you? I'm sorry, my friend. Let me.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you should, but I made you.
I know. I don't know why it's not letting me like.
Oh no. Okay.
If you can just double check that.
Yeah, it's not letting me because I'm sharing my screen. I'm not seeing. There we go. But I made you co-host already. It worked yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we'd gotten past that. Bummer.
You have to do it every time, maybe.
But I didn't though. I mean, it just automatically happened yesterday. I'll go. All right. I'm sorry, my friends.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. All right. So back to, so we've overcome some challenges with the pandemic, right? I mean, we've got kids keeping safe at home that are having to learn with some challenges getting into Zoom. And good job for being patient about that, my friends. We have challenges here. We know that we have to do things differently. We don't get to quite do recess the same. We don't quite get to do all of our other things the same, but we're figuring it out, aren't we? Because here we are, here you are, we're getting it done. So we know that we're making it, that's near. And then where did we learn about some other challenges? What other two places have we learned about some challenges so far? Ellie. One of them was in Chad. Very good. Ellie said Chad. And then who remembers the other place that we learned? Cole? Columbia. So we know those are two pretty far places, and we're going to learn about some other places as well. All right. So, and why isn't it working? Okay. So today's learning targets. I'm going to have to put some people away for the moment. Uh-oh. All the people away for the moment. Maybe not. So, all right. So our learning targets today are I can refer to the text explicitly to answer questions about Rain School. We listened to the book Rain School yesterday. You each have a copy that you are going to be able to use today for today's assignment. And we are going to, if you at home, you can, I attached the video again to Rain School on this assignment. So for today, so if you need to refer, you can open another tab and look at, you don't have to play it. Well, you can play it as we go. So if you go back, if you open another tab and you click on the same assignment that you have for today, that you can see this, these Google Slides, you can actually have your own set of book. You can have your own book as well. So if you want to take some time to do that, you certainly can. So we are, the word explicitly, let me see if it's going to do it. That word explicitly. What do you think that word means? I can refer to the text explicitly to answer questions about Rain School. That's definitely a third grade good word, good vocabulary. Anybody have an idea of what explicitly might mean? Explicitly. Madison. Okay, so it's going to help us answer questions. You're certainly right. Lucas? Well, it's definitely going to help us learn. You're correct. Sunny, did you have an idea? Go for it, babe. Okay, so we are going to find, so it says we're going to refer to the text. So you're going to look in the book and you are going to find in the book a detail, a spot where you can even point to the words so that you could answer a question about Rain School. So if the question was, what's the main character? Could you find in the book who the main character is and point to it? So sometimes we have questions we can't answer because we just kind of are thinking about it, right? Like how Thomas is feeling. Those kind of questions we kind of infer, don't we? But explicitly is the opposite of inferring. It means going to the text and finding an exact spot that you can find the answer. So that sometimes we have to infer things, and sometimes we can find that exact answer and point to it. So who's the main character of our book? Noah. Thomas. Can you find Thomas's name in the book? Oh, yeah, very first page. If you look at the very first page of text, you can find the word Thomas. So you could explicitly find the answer to the question that if I asked, well, who's the main character? You could find his name and point at it, couldn't you? Noah, did you find it? All right, could you point at it? Let me see you point at where it says Thomas's name. So it's very first. Is it only on the first page? No, but you could answer explicitly by pointing to that word, Thomas. If I asked you another question about where it was taking place, you could find another page and point to it, right? You could point to that spot. So that's what that word explicitly means. It means that we can find the exact spot in the text or in the book where we could find the answer to a question. And today we're going to do that. We spent a whole lot of time inferring, using our schema and our brains to figure out what we think is going on, right? What we think is going on, but explicitly means we can find the exact answer and write it down, okay? So as readers, we have to be able to do both of those things, infer and refer to the text to find an answer explicitly. So our second one is about the central message, the lesson or the moral, and how it's conveyed through detail in Rain School. So we have the word conveyed. Where's the word conveyed? Here's the word conveyed. Here, I'm going to show my friends at home. Conveyed. So what do you think? So conveyed through details in Rain School. And conveyed means to make an idea understandable. Does Mrs. Aubin and Mrs. Harrison, do we try to convey a lot of information? Yes, we try to make it so you understand it, right? So that you can understand what that information is. We don't just tell you a bunch of stuff and say, good luck, go do that multiplication stuff, right? We give you lots of examples of how to do that before we just say, do it on your own. So convey. Today, we're going to find out how the author conveys their message and through the details in Rain School. So details, my friends at home, there you go. Details are those small things, small parts of the story that give the readers a hint about, I'm going to hold this one back a little further. Hopefully you guys can see it. So details are just those little bits, those little hints that help us understand what the message is. And we're going to work on that today. We're going to be close readers. Close readers read small chunks of text slowly and think about what's going on as we go. We did the gist yesterday. Today, we're going to even kind of take each chunk a little slower today, okay? So that we're going to be a very good close reader. So again, if you're at home and you have a copy, you can open that movie of Rain School so that you have it there so when we go through it. Yesterday we read for the gist. Does this page look familiar to everybody? Yeah, because we wrote something similar, didn't we, in our own workbooks. And if at home you type them in on slide 13 for me. And so we know that the gist, if we look at this, I could almost, it's that whole story smushed into a couple of sentences, right? So Thomas, who lives in Chad, wanted to go to school to learn, but there was no school. So the teacher and the children built the school as part of their learning before they learned the rest of their stuff, right? To read and write. Yeah, very good. All right, yes, Cole.
I have a license.
Oh, no. All
I'll
right.
take care of it with Megan. We're good at this, aren't we?
We're getting good at this idea here. All right. So today when we're doing some close reading. So my friends at home, hopefully you have your EL spiral close by. You need to go ahead and grab that EL spiral. And because you're going to take some notes today. And the rest of us have this page inside our workbook. All right. So today we're going to, and let's see what page it is. Let's see what page it is here. My pages never match the ones you're doing. 8. Yes, thank you. So my friends here are on page 8. My friends at home have their EL spiral ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to read some of Rain School and look at some of the pages. You guys have your books. And we're going to find some details that show us what the author wanted us to learn from this story. And if you notice, I'm going to do my dot camera, which always is a fun thing to see if I can ever get that back after I do that. All right. Let me see if I can get my dot camera up, my friends. I'm going to have to exit this for a moment. All right. See if my dot camera will work. It's always a
I need one more computer.
I was gonna say,
Everybody.
I've got an extra iPad over here if you want it, and phone. That's what I did yesterday during math. I literally had my phone I was emailing on, parents on my computer, and my iPad.
Yep.
All right, so my friends at home, hopefully you can see that well. All right, so I'm gonna kind of bebop back and forth from our ideas here, and then I'm gonna actually write on things, and you can copy in your EL workbook as you go along. So here's our, I gotta go back to present mode. Here we go. All right, just for a minute. All right, so there's that page. All right, so first of all, before we get too far, let's figure out what is the challenge. What was the challenge in Rain School? What was the problem? Ellie. Every year the school wouldn't be there anymore because of the rain, so they had no school at the beginning. And how did they overcome it? How did they overcome it? Sernay? Well, they built their school, and then eventually we know they started to build it with different materials that wouldn't, we saw a picture of the school now. And it's not it, so they don't have that problem anymore, right? But they had to build it together. What do you think? Why do you think Thomas was expecting to get to school and see classroom and desks? Why do you think that, Ellie? Because that's when you think of school, you think of a building with classrooms. Think of a building with, your material with desks and books and chairs and all those things, don't we? And so why doesn't it not matter that there's no classroom or books? I mean, classroom or desks. Why does it not matter? Cooper? Because they can take care of it, right? They're smart. They're overcoming the challenge, right? Okay. Why is it important, however, that the teacher's there? Why is the teacher an important character in this? Elena?
So they can teach the kids and make sure they don't get hurt.
Okay, so definitely safety for sure, and to teach them, right? Some of them may know some of the skills, but they need to know how to build the school the right way, right? So The first thing, so if you look at the top of our page, I'm going to go back. At the top of our page in this section, oh, I can't, okay, hold on. All right, I'm going to show you this. At the top of our page here, it says the lesson or moral. The lesson or moral for this book, who can read it for me from their page on their desk? Who can read that for me? Josh. Yep, it says when
working to overcome challenges, we can learn new things.
Do you remember how we underlined that yesterday as the message? If you flip back a little bit, but don't worry about that right now. We said that what the author is trying to teach us is when you're working to overcome a challenge, you learn new things. Like we talked about yesterday, when you're learning something new, a lot of other skills come into play when you're trying to do something you haven't ever done before, right? Always learning and you're growing in your education. Yes, Noah? You may. All right, so if we look at that, and we have to find some details from the text that will show us that the author put inside the story so that we could actually figure out what the moral of the story is. So if you, those of you at home, if you have that video up, you're going to find a page that looks like, and I'll show everybody here in a minute, you're going to find the page that has the teacher. Oh boy, it's not going to fit right. This one here. All right, the one with the teacher and the school students. Says Thomas arrives at the schoolyard, but there are no classrooms. There are no desks. It doesn't matter. There is a teacher. We will build our school, she says. This is our first lesson. All right, so this is our first clue that we are going to use to come up with what's he trying to teach us here. So we're going to write the teacher. You can put this a little bit in your own words as well. I'm showing you what the answer, and you're going to do some of these on your own as well. The teacher tells them, what does the teacher tell them on that page? That they will build the school, right? And it's the first lesson. They will build this. She tells them they will build the school. And and you guys don't have to write this exactly the way I do. If you want to write it in your own words, you certainly can. Actually, I'm going to make that an and. It will be, as Elena said, the first lesson. By saying the word lesson, what is the author telling us? When you hear the word lesson, what do you think? So everybody's filling in that first box. I see a couple of my friends in the room that are not filling out that first box. Everybody filling out that first box for me. Filling out that first box, Mr. Josh. All right, my friends at home, you're taking notes in your EL workbook for me. All right. Okay. So when you hear the word lesson, what does it make you think of? Come on, friends. I appreciate my friends that have their hands up, but I need some new friends. Ken, what does lesson make you think of? What does the word lesson make you think of? Yes, well, the word lesson. When you hear, when the teacher says lesson, what do you think you're going to do? Learn. It's good. So when he says first lesson, so the teacher calls a lesson. By calling it a lesson, she, in this case, is the teacher, right? Is explaining that they will do what? Will learn something. So the author tells us, the teacher tells them they will build the school and it'll be the first lesson. But what does that tell us? What does that communicate? Well, it tells us that by calling it a lesson, the teacher says, we're going to learn something here. Yes? All right. So what we're trying to do here again is we're looking for things in the actual book that that'll show this moral, that we are going to overcome our learning challenge and we're going to learn new things. And this is the detail in the story. And this is what it tells us. So this is what kind of the inferring, right? But we're finding it explicitly in the story. I can point to that part in the book right here. I can point to that part in the book and say, this is what it's telling me. I actually have proof what the author is trying to say. Remember yesterday, it said one of the choices for the moral was that big kids have to work harder than the little kids. That was one of the choices. But was that the right choice?
No.
Yeah, and that reason that one was not the right choice is because there wasn't anything particularly in the book that we could point to show that that was the moral of our story. All right, I know you're frantically writing, my friends. You can put it in your own words, but you're going to use, the idea is that you want to use this information later, so make sure you have at least, enough that you can tell me back the details, okay? Doesn't have to be word for word. Because I have the teacher copy, and they said the teacher is explaining, and I just put the word she. She a lot shorter than the teacher? Yeah. So you can condense it a bit down a little bit. I'm just giving you all the words so you can be ready, okay? So you can write shorter words if you like. All right, so we're gonna go on to the next page. So if you're at home, here's the page here. Everybody here can flip the page in their book. They want it looking in their own book. It says, Thomas learns to make mud bricks and dry them in the sun. Do you think that shows that he is overcoming his challenge?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a detail? Give me a thumbs up if you think that is a detail. Paxton's give me a thumbs up. Lyric's give me a thumbs up. Excellent. I can't see my friends at home, but I'm hoping you're giving me a thumbs up. All right. That is a detail that he's learning something, right? He's gaining new skills. So we're going to write Thomas this time, but I'm not going to write his name all the time. Thomas and learns to make mud bricks and dry them in the sun. Friends at home, hopefully you're doing a good job of taking some notes. Again, you're putting them in your own words.
Sorry.
All right. So, okay. So that's the part in print that we can see. That's our detail that we're explicitly finding. I can point to it in the book, right? I can point to it in the book so that I can explicitly find it. But now we have to go, but what does that teach us? How does the author, by saying that sentence, how does that author help us understand that when we're working to overcome challenges, we can learn new things? What is he doing to show that? What is Thomas doing? What skill? He's learning a skill, right? Can he use those skills at other times? Do you think he can use mud bricks for something else? Sonny, what were you thinking?
By learning that he can learn how to make things.
Okay, and He, right, and he can make his own house maybe when he grows up, or he can make a playhouse if he right. He can use those skills to do other things. All right, who agrees with who has something else that they can add to or agree with Miss Sunny? Elena?
You can learn how to make you can learn how to make chairs.
How to make what?
Chairs.
Oh yes, the chairs, right? So that not only can he make the building, but he can make some furniture, right? To use. Very good. Miss Evie, what are you thinking? What might Thomas use those skills to do? So it might help him with his job when he's an adult. So he maybe it helps him build his own home. Maybe it helps him with a job. Okay. So he is learning new skills. And we talked about this in the last couple days. When we learn new things, it helps us for when we're grown-ups, right? It helps us when in life later on. Oh, what's going on with my, there we go. Computer's doing weird things. I must have touched something I wasn't supposed to touch. So he's learning new skills to help him in the future. Like Elena said, maybe he can build some furniture now. Maybe he can build himself a house. Maybe it'll help him when he's an adult with his job. He's learning new skills. So here's our detail from the story that I can point to, that I can show. Here it is. I can explicitly point to it. Point to it, right? But what does it mean? It means that now he's getting new skills that he can use to help him. All right, let's look at the next page. And this is a lot, I love this picture here. See if I can make it so that everybody at home can see it a little better. Look at that one. What does it say on that page? My friends at home, I'm going to move it a little bit so you can see the words, hopefully. What are the words? What are some more details that the author has given us? What do you think, Miss Sunny? Do you think that's a detail that helps us with our overcoming our learning challenge? Do you build this? Would it make a very good school without walls?
No.
Without desks?
No.
Probably not a good. So what should we write in this spot here then? Who can help me decide what to write in here? You all have it on in your books. You're on this page here. See, a couple of us are still on the last page. Turn it to this page here. My friends at home, if you have it open in another tab, this is the picture that you want. All right. What shall we write in there? What should we write as our explicit detail? Lucas, what do you think? Okay, so they have definitely, but we're looking for a sentence that tells him exactly what he learns. Okay, Josh, do you agree with that? Yeah. Sunny, do you agree with that? Okay, what do you think we should write?
I think like you should write is he learning skills how to make mud walls and mud desks.
Okay, go for it then. I'm going to write the exact sentence that's it because I'm going to stick to the explicit sentence that it has inside. It says he learns. And some of you are trying to copy what I've got up here, but where can you copy it from that's also clearer? Your own book, right? So if you're having trouble, especially my friends at home, If you're having trouble copying down the sentence, can you copy it just from your own book? Yeah, if you guys have it in your hand and you guys have it pulled up on the computer, you can just copy it directly from there. He learns to build mud walls and mud desks. Oh, I got into cursive there for some reason. Mud walls and mud desks. There's our explicit sentence, but I like that my friend Sunny had a word in there that she added that we're definitely gonna need in here. August, what are you thinking? They are learning to work together. Is that a skill?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, is that a skill? Working together, building something together. Isn't that a skill on how to cooperate?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. See all these kiddos? That's a lot of kiddos to get to do a job together. So I love that. They're learning to work together, and that's cooperation. And that's certainly something that is hard to do if you don't learn how to do it. Have you ever seen, some of you have little brothers or sisters that are a lot younger than you? Do little tiny kids know how to cooperate very well? No, they have to learn that skill. Somebody has to be able to teach them that, like, to take turns and maybe to split up the job. There's a lot of cooperation. You guys are very good at cooperating already, but you've had at least 8 or 9 years to figure it out, right? But that's a skill you actually have to learn. If you've never had to cooperate with someone before, whew, you think that might be hard at first? Yeah, you might be a little selfish, might have a trouble time. So August, what should we write in here? I liked your sentence. Say it again.
They're learning to work together.
I love that. Is he also learning building skills? Yes, he is. He's learning skills to help him in the future, but I love that idea, August. That is so, because is that new things that he's learning? Yep. Learning how to build things, learning how to cooperate. I love that. Hard to cooperate at first, huh? All right. I know some people are frantically writing things down. I'll slow down a little, get you caught up. Wow, what's my lips? All right. I want you, since you have the book in front of you, I want you guys to look and see if you can find another sentence that shows a detail from the text that shows them when they're overcoming learning challenges, they learn new things. Look through your book, reread a little. Find something that explicitly shows that they are learning. Find another sentence. Mrs. Aubin, I'm assuming that you might not be.
I was just in there.
Excellent. Okay. Are they doing okay?
Yep, and I
Okay.
admitted.
Thank you.
You got-
All right.
I'm just doing-
Yeah, I understand. I just wanted to double check that we were
That was good.
that you didn't need to tell me anything.
Nope.
All right, my friends at home, good job working through it. You guys are doing great. I'm going to try to see if I can get some more faces in here so I can see some friends. Give me a thumbs up at home if you. I know that you're having that you have to look on another tab perhaps for the book, but I will show you a couple pages and see if you can see a sentence. Oh, my friend Abby is there. Hey, Miss Abby. Yay, I hope you're feeling better. I hope we get to see you soon. All right, so it says he gathers grass and saplings with other children and they make a roof. And then here, they seem to have their school all built. It says inside it is cold. It smells of earth. It smells of the field ready for planting. Thomas helps bring in little wooden stools. Everyone sits down. This is the moment they have been waiting for. The teacher brings in a blackboard. On it, she writes a letter. A, says the teacher. A, says Thomas with the other children. The teacher writes the letter with big strokes in the air. The students do the same over and over. Wonderful, says the teacher. She hands out notebooks and pencils. Page 1, says the teacher. Thomas opens his notebook to the first page and holds his pencil ready and waiting. Now write the letter A. Beautiful, says the teacher as she looks at students' work. Does that sound like a typical teacher? Does it sound something like something Mrs. Aubin would go around and do? No, she wouldn't come around and say beautiful on your cursive?
She would.
I think she would. Every day, Thomas, in fact, I heard her yesterday say something almost identical to that. Every day, Thomas learns something new. Every day, the teacher cheers him and the other children on. Excellent job, she says. Perfect, my learning friend. Okay, I could keep going, but did you find, what are some sentences that you could write in here that show that he is learning something? He's overcoming his learning challenge. Elena, what did you decide?
He gathers grass and saplings with other children in the nursery.
Okay, did anyone else choose that sentence? Did anybody else? Paxton chose that sentence? Oh, no. Mrs. Aubin is on task. All right. Anybody else choose that same sentence? I see Lucas says yes. Anybody at home? Anybody at home choose that sentence? Losing I got some wandering children at this moment. All right. Oh, they're back. That's good. Lila, what do you think about that sentence? Does that sentence look like it might be a good one for our last box? Okay, Lila thinks so. What is Estrella? What do you think? Pardon? Well, you know, if you're available. All right. I mean, I can manage. This is just the part I miss in real life, you know. I don't normally just sit in a chair for a whole lesson. Killing me. So you chose, okay, so Elena says he gathers grass and saplings with other children and they make a roof. Thumb up if you think that is a sentence that would work. Definitely. All right. Anybody else choose a different one? Anybody else? Ellie, what did you choose? Okay, you put some things together. Okay. They work together to, because it says with the other children, so you condensed it. So they work together to build the roof. Excellent. Terne? They learn to make the school, right? Because they didn't have a school, right? And so that's the ultimate goal is they made the walls, they made the desks. Now they needed to make the roof, right? The part makes anybody else pick any other sentences because we're looking for explicit sentences that we could write down to put in there. Anybody at home choose a different one? Anybody, any remote workers choose a different one? I'm looking at Mrs. Creel.
Lila left and chose a different one.
Excellent. She can unmute and tell us what she chose.
Lila, go ahead and unmute and tell us what you chose.
Oh, you know what? My sound's down.
Are you using this right now?
They're filling in the last one. Oh. Oh, yeah, we're listening. Lila, Astra, we here? Didn't unmute.
They-
Oh, no.
They had to work together to build the roof so they could do it.
All right, very good. So they had to finish. Very good. They worked together. I like how you put those words in there. Did anybody choose that they helped bring in the little wooden stools? Did you choose that one, Cooper? Nice job. So there could be more than one answer to this box, because the author has given us lots of little clues throughout the book to help us understand what the moral of the story was. Since most of you seem to have picked this one, I will go ahead and, you don't have to write it exactly like me though. I will write down, he gathers grass and saplings. Well, that's my very next question. Good job. What do close readers do when we find a word that we aren't sure about? Guess what we do? We figure it out, right? Does it make sense to read if you don't understand something you're reading and just you skim over it? Is that being a driver in our reading? No. If you get to a weird sign in the road and you don't know what to do, what do you have to do? You have to figure it out, right? Otherwise you might have an accident. When we're drivers in our reading, we have to stop and figure things out. So what are saplings? Oh my goodness. I can't apparently talk and write at the same time today. What do you think, Finn? What's a sapling? It is, so it's from a tree. That's excellent. It's past the seed part, but you're getting close. Nixon? See, the tree is starting to form, so it's growing. Okay, give me a little bit more information, Abby. Baby tree. Max, what would you say? Say it one more time. A starting tree. So how high, how tall would it be? So anyway, so enough so you can tell that it's to be a tree, right? So about that tall. Okay, so a sapling is just really a short baby tree. Yeah, exactly. Not so baby that it's like this big though, because he gonna be able to make a roof off of something that small? No. So he gathers grass and saplings. So a tree has a pretty good, even when it's little, it's got a pretty strong core though, right? Stem to it, what's going to be eventually the trunk, right? It's pretty strong. So the grass, what will happen to the grass? Grass will do what? Show me with your arms what grass will do when you put it on something. It'll just sort of wilt, right? Grass will do this. And so would grass by itself be a good idea for a roof? No, so you need something to hold it up there, right? So some small trees and grass on top of it will be able to build that roof. So good job, my friends. We figured out what saplings are. So I loved how that's exactly what we should do. Anytime we come up to a room that a word that we don't know. And my friends at home, could you show Mrs. Aubin what you wrote down for that last idea? All right. Logan, yeah. Logan, great job. Let's see, I'm looking for somebody else's. Leo. Nice job, Leo. And Robert, thank you so much. And Estrella? All right. Isabella's got it. All right, Miss Lila, did you get some things written down? Miss Abby, did you get some things written down you can show Mrs. Aubin? All right. So what are we going to write in that last box? What are we going to write in this last box then? So these are our details directly from the book, the explicit details. And here are what those details are telling us that the author wants us to understand, right? So could it be just like what we've already written? Could it be similar to this? He's learning new things, new skills, right? To help him in the future, to help him overcome his challenge. We're going to add that. He, who's Thomas, right, is learning skills. And what, in this case, he's building, right? Is learning new, I'm going to put building skills to overcome what? The challenge. Ta-da! Don't have a school? What do? Build one. Overcome that challenge, right? Build it. Can't figure, we have a, some, COVID things going on, and it's making it hard for people to gather together. But what do we do to figure out how to come to school or how to stay at home and be safe and learn from home? We figured it out, right? We made rules and ways and Zooms so we could all work in school, learn together, right? Yeah. All right. I'm leaving that there because I see all my friends are frantically writing some things down. Looks like Haley's getting some things written. Looks like Isabella's doing great. I got to wrap it up here. All right, I'm gonna try to figure out how I can show two things at one time. Let me see if I can manage this. So that I want to show people, if I can, two things. I practiced it at home, but I may not, no, okay, hold on. All right, so here is our, there we go. Our learning targets again. I'm gonna see if I can still get two things up here, but I don't think I can. Arg, tried. All right, my friends. So I was going to go with our learning target. I know, I got to wrap it up. So learning targets, I can refer to the text explicitly to answer questions about Brain School. Give me a thumbs up if we did that together. If you're feeling good about how do you find a sentence in the story that helps us. Okay, got some things here. Okay, quite a few thank yous. All right, all right. Did we explain how the moral that's at the top there, that we learn new things when we're overcoming challenges, is conveyed through the book? We found, okay, I'm not, okay, give me a thumbs up if you feel pretty good about that. All right, nice job. I got a couple, okay, you know what, we're gonna continue to work on. All right, Mrs. Dobbins, helping me out, making sure everybody's going through it. All right, my friends. We are done for today. If you are, go ahead and close. If you're in my class, you're going to close your book and put it in your book bin. If you're in Mrs. Aubin's class, you're going to close your book and take it back with you with your workbook.
We're going to put on some books in as well.
Okay, got it. So just, you're going to have to go back because we got to go to camp. But well, how much more do you have? Just the rest of that sentence? Okay, do you remember what it is? You can finish it on your own? Okay, the girls down there have it. Do you want to just peek over their shoulders real quick? My friends at home, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. There we go. And so on slide number 6, I think it's 6 again, go in there and you don't have to type everything you just wrote down, okay? Because I know you just did lots of work. I don't expect that. But choose a little bit on slide 6, something you really are proud of, and type it in there and make sure you turn it in so that I can see it, okay? Because some of you, I think, have been doing it and maybe not turning it in, and some others of you have been turning it in blank. So on slide 7, just type me some things in a text box, okay? So I can see that we're with it, all right? All right, my friends, if you want to do some AMP work or go get a snack or whatever you need to do, and I'll see you guys at 12:45. All right? Okay, bye, my friends.